night was a little different, I suppose. I got home after dark, and Mom and Dad weren't around, and they're not here today. They're coming back later today. And just hanging out in the house, getting ready for bed, and I could hear Ellie barking. And usually she barks a little bit, and then she quits. Well, she just kept barking and barking, so I come upstairs, you know, and I come into the garage, you know, calmly, and just kind of checking out what's going on, and I go back downstairs. She keeps barking, so I come back up, and I'm like, whatever, I'll go outside, and I just scan the flashlight around. You know, I'm looking at this pen and looking over here, and I'm seeing eyes, and I'm like, yeah, there's eyes in there, and then I'm seeing eyes way back there. I'm like, wait a second, we're not supposed to have cattle in there. But I'm thinking, I'm like, well, there's a gate in that back corner, so if they're in this pen, they're just fine. It's not a big deal. Adjacent to this pen is our working alley on the other side of the barn. Hello, critters, good morning. And then I remember, wait, that gate in the corner is wide open. So I'm walking, but I'm like, well, we have multiple gates in there, and we always have the gate at the end of the alley closed. But then I remember, I've been working on a project in here, and so if that one down there is open, and this one down here is open, they can just get out onto the road and get out into the yard and just run everywhere. So I'm hustling over here, and I'm looking, I'm like, yep, that gate's open, so they can just get out. Ellie's taking her morning poop. But then I head down here, and oh, thank the Lord, for some reason, this gate was shut. And I'd been leaving this one open all the time too, just so I could move in here. This is the thing I've been working on. I just pulled a post and I cemented that in. So this gate was shut, and then in here you can see all the poop. There was like a fourth of the herd in here, and I don't know when they did it, because I got home at about 10 o'clock last night. It was pitch black. Such a weird night. So I saw a mouse running. I'm thinking, alright, whatever. But then a coon was chasing it. I was like, what the? Then a baby coon came. This is a weird night. Goodness gracious. Now I don't know if I'm going to sleep at all, just thinking about all these cattle everywhere. The worst part is I'm shirtless and there's skeeters biting my nipples. And they could have been all gone by then. We would have just had steers running all over the country. Alright, so I'm like, well, everything's in, the gate's shut. But actually that critter is apparently not in. And when I could shine the light, when I was shining the light, I could see one on the outside of the pen along the bales back there. But I'm like, that one will stay, and it did. She's still here, or he's still here. And so of course I wanted to see how they all got out. And right there, they somehow busted that gate wide open. And so I didn't think it was too big of a deal. I was just gonna let them all back in. So I went back to the house. I crawl into bed. I'm about to fall asleep, and then I just start thinking, now why did they even break that gate open? You know, and I thought back to the time Dad was talking about cattle, and sometimes when their water isn't working or they run out of water, they start acting a little goofy. They start running around and jumping, and then paranoia got to me, and I was thinking, maybe the drinker ran out of pressure. Maybe the water pump ran out of pressure and it's not pumping water, and they're out of water and they're just busting crap open. So then I had to get back out, and I looked in the water tank and it was full. So I finally went to bed, and that's my story. So now I'm gonna open that gate wide open, and we'll get to feeding. Like I said, Dad is not here. It seems like it's about 74 degrees, a little breezy today. It's gonna be a decent day. What I really don't understand is, so the whole chain is here. So somebody must have like licked it out of the slot or something. But for all of my life, there's been two chains here. One on the gate and then one bigger one with a hook. And I don't see that one anywhere. It's not in the dirt. It's not on the, usually we'd wrap it around the fence right next to it. Nowhere to be seen. I gotta mention one other thing. I downloaded TikTok the other day, and that was the worst decision I've ever made in my life. I've never been so unproductive. It's ridiculous. Don't ever download TikTok. You'll just sit there and watch and scroll and oh my gosh. Somebody slimed the gate and I touched it. That is gross. Oh, that's just some bovine booger right there. Just a little bit to wake you up, I guess. Yep. There you go. All right, we're ready to start feeding. Come on, honey. Don't go in the trees. That'll make my Friday suck. I think I got an opportunity to chase her up because she's headed for the gate. Ew, I just saw a giant rat. You know the way. Come on, girl. Oh, don't go that way. She just gotta go straight and then take a right. Come on. Come on, honey. Let's go. Please? No, no, no. Off with load number 2, then we just got one left. Yep. I have it. She can't hear me say help, but I just had to say it. Your pen's getting food next. Hopefully I'll see you there. Crank that AC so it's nice in here when I get back. So dang windy, it's hard dumping it in the feed wagon and then it blows all over the critters when you're feeding them. They said gusts up to 30 and actually we're going to be in a heat advisory, so it's going to be heating up. Ellie, we're going to go chase some cattles. You coming? Let's go see if chasing that critter up, she'll not go into the gate and just royally anger me to no end. Come on. Let's go. We gotta chase cattles. Speed, gracefulness, power, agility. She keeps looking at me when I start talking. Soon to add pour at chasing cattle. Go, let's go, let's go. There we go. That was bumpy. That's what I like to see. This one right here, 941, is the girl we darted maybe in the last video. Fairly recently, her eye was starting to water quite a bit, and now she is looking perfect. I hope you guys are liking hanging out with this 22-year-old farmer. If you're new here and you're having fun, enjoying yourself, being a little entertained, I just ask you hit that subscribe button, that like button. It would be much appreciated. We're gonna keep going here. I don't really want those steers getting out again, especially if one more gate happened to be open last night. We would have had a mess. We got some chain here. What do we got here? That's too short. We got a bunch of chain here. We're gonna find a clip. Found a clip just like that. We're gonna find a bolt cutter. Found a bolt cutter just like that. We're gonna make it so them calves can't push through, or I don't know how they got through that. One critter must have been tonguing that gate pretty good last night. Simple as having 2 chains for every gate can keep a lot of bad stuff from happening. If you saw me look back and you maybe heard some creaking, that gate in the corner, the wind just shut it. So if we would have been, oh, Ellie, that was some dirty water. You were so clean. If you haven't noticed, for about a week now, Lake Sonne has been filled with crushed rock. You could say it was because we were sick of the water sitting out there. You could also say it was because we were sick of all the people filling Lake Sonne. We got a nice brand new rake wheel in. Rake tire, I guess. So later today we can put that on. Right now I'm gonna grab a bag of Dakota Gold Pro pellets, the smaller pellets. We're gonna head over to them calves that Dad and I bought about a week ago, and we are just gonna feed them, make sure they're in. That's a nice breeze. Really cools off the pits. It's getting heavy. I'm not a very stout man. All right, let's boogie. Oh my gosh, I just filled the gas pickup up with diesel. No, I'm just kidding. That is a fear of mine though. I'm gonna do it someday. And I really hope Dad is forgiving when that day comes. Then I'll have to think of something that he messed up really bad, and I'll have to bring that up, and then he'll just get more angry. Well, that's embarrassing. At least there's not a gas nozzle hanging out of it too. Fun fact, today is Brian's birthday, so it'll be a little belated if you say it now, but go ahead and wish him a happy birthday. He is 42 years old today. Haha. I just got done with lunch. I made sausage patties on the grill. Oh, and I grilled some vegetables. Holy crap. Now that was a meal. We don't have too much going on today since Dad's not here cracking the whip. I do want to, however, fill this up, put about 15 gallons in here. And I got one more pasture I need to spray. I was at the other 3 that I take care of the last couple days, 2 days ago. I think these close ones I've been to like at least 12 times. I've been to the pastures, I was cracking down on the weeds, and they just keep coming. It's really disappointing. We're thinking we're gonna try something different next year. Well, we're gonna add something. We might try at one of these chemical places, they impregnate your urea, your fertilizer, with a weed killer, and we're hoping by broadcasting that out, it could take care of a lot of things, make it easier for me, help our pastures clean up a little bit. So we're gonna try that, but for right now, this honestly might be the last time that I go to the pastures because there's not much new coming anymore, but there's still some things that I need to take care of this one last time, and we'll definitely monitor it. So we're gonna take off. We just got one pasture to spray, and at some point I'm gonna put that rake wheel back on. Here's our last piece of grass. I'm sure that'll be ready to rake and bale here pretty soon. So that's exciting. Then we just got 4th cutting of alfalfa left. Hey, I hear the Swedes thinking, it's a hot day. Oh, that feels good. How we doing, y'all? Going for a swim? Where's the bowl? There he is. What I am about to show you, I am not proud of. It's a freaking forest of musk thistle. Now my excuse here is, we're in an old feedlot. I've never seen musk thistle in this spot before. All in all, it's my fault, and we're gonna take as good of care of it as we can right now. I might need a few gallons. I can say this is in the middle of a bunch of our land, and so it's not gonna get onto any neighbor stuff, the seeds. And now I know it's here, and I'm gonna monitor it every year. Please don't be so mean in the comments. I'm sorry. Yeah, we got some weed problems. know, I try my best. I've been out to all these pastures at least 6 times, some of them over 12. Someone recently said I look like Johnny Bravo. He's like the coolest cartoon there ever was, so thank you. Ain't every day this happens. Look at them honkers! It's always a great day when you see some honkers, am I right? Here's my dude. How are you? Good? Yeah? You look fantastic. The sun kind of went away. A cloud came out. Be a good time to put that wheel back on so I'm not sweating a lot. Ugh. I wish we would have parked that tire up on something. We're gonna have to pick this up. Is this the same tire? Well guys, Ellie thinks it's time to go in. I agree with her. There ain't much going on. I'm super happy that one gate was closed, because if it wasn't, I'd be wrangling up cattle still, I bet. There was one time we had bulls get out. That was way back when my brother Wobby was dating this girl way back. It was probably 10 years ago, 12 maybe, I don't know. The girl was leaving our house, driving back to her parents' place. She saw a few bulls out, and that's when that whole pen was built out of wood. There was bulls here, there's 5 there, 10 there, 6 there, and we ended up missing a few at the end of the day. We couldn't, it was actually pitch black out, but the next morning when we counted, we didn't have all of them. There was probably over 70 at the time. Well, then Dad went and looked the bales. Actually, my cousin mentioned there might be some stuck in the bales, and they went and looked, and there was 2 that walked in there, and they get up on their tippy toes, you know, and then the bales happen to get closer and closer, and then they're just up in the bales and they can't do anything. Ever since that time, granted, they broke through the wood fence, but we always try to put 2 chains on every gate, because we've had it numerous times where pens mixed because they broke through or they got up on the highway, and that was the long story. But I hope you enjoyed this video somewhat. We'll see you next time. Hit that subscribe button if you're new here. Have a good one. Hey, where's your pen? That's right, get going. Hey, get going now.